Did you hear about what Bank of England warned of yesterday? Bank of England warns of longest recession in 100 years.
Yep.
As it raises rates to 3%. That's not very much of an optimistic message coming from the Bank of England. 0.75 of a basis point increase, the latest in a series of 8 interest rate hikes since last year, would not be enough to guarantee victory in a war against double-digit inflation. The Bank of England said, as it cautioned, further action would be needed. The UK economy faces a very challenging outlook with a recession that began this summer, now expected to last to middle of 2024, with the possibility of a general election being held in 2024. The Conservatives face campaigning to remain in government at the tail end of a prolonged slump, during which the bank said it expected unemployment rates to rise from 3.5% to 6.5%.
So
and if they're saying that,
double,
that's going to happen here as well next year in unemployment. We're not there yet, though. So, but Tom, what does that mean if Bank of England is saying this?
Well, I think what you see here at the Bank of England is you have a frank assessment of what is actually happening in our economy. They say, oh, don't call it a recession. We're not going to do that. We're going to change the definition. Look, what's going on over here, we're already seeing the interest rates raise. We've already had the multiple ups. We're seeing, we were just talking about the jobs report, that the jobs report was really talking about low-end jobs, that the 10.7 million was low-end jobs. What you're seeing there, that is exactly what is happening here. We're just not willing to say it.
We're just not willing to say it.
We're not willing to say it.
Yeah, it's
things
that
are in that report are happening.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
here.
I think that again, my mind flashes back to in the late 80s, 90s. We had this profession called the economics profession, and you had economists on the left and on the right, but they weren't all that far apart on the facts. They disagreed about sometimes their interpretation. They would disagree, for example, on the effect of inflation on interest rates. But there was a body.
What is inflation, by the way? This word Republicans been using lately. Do you guys know the meaning of? Tyler, what does this mean? Joy Reid said, a lot of people don't know what this word inflation means. Can you pull up the definition of? I hate to interrupt you because some of us are not from America here. I was born in Iran.
I think it's a conspiracy theory.
What is the definition of inflation? Go to definition of inflation, because apparently only the folks on the left know what the meaning of inflation is. In economics, inflation is increases in the price of goods and services in an economy. Got it. Just want to verify that so our audience knows that. But go ahead.
Right. I mean, the key thing about inflation is that you have the same number of goods that then cost more across the board, and that's inflation, because essentially what it means is your money is losing value, right? So, for example, if you have $100 in your pocket and you can buy $100 worth of stuff, and there's 10% of inflation, in effect, you now have $90 in your pocket, even though you still count 100. That's the point of what inflation is, but what I was saying was that this body of economic knowledge appears to have almost vanished. And I don't know if it's because the economists are now muted and their influence is reduced.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.